Okay, so what happened is that if you look, the chuck has two different diameter here. This is a bit of rust, and this is the top plate that was on it. So normally what you have is you have this part that slides on the chuck, and this is going over it like that, right? And that is supposed to stop at this place here. This is what it should look like. So because it was broken, you see this one can fit, and it's going to prevent the chuck to go all the way through inside the car, the trunk. So this is broken, so we're gonna replace both sides. It's been broken for quite some time. So since it was broken, the bigger diameter crushed through this rubber kind of thing inside here, and you got another, like some kind of a shield that goes over it. So I got a kit, and I'm gonna replace all of those. The only one that's still good, so this is to replace this thing here. So this is going on top of this, all of that on top of this, up the chuck. And inside the car we have the other component. There's a bushing also that goes inside here. Inside the car we have the nut and this thing, but it's still good, so I can use the other one and keep those for spare. Also, I'm gonna brush clean this thread here, this too. Gonna brush the rust off, maybe put a bit of paint on it, protect this side of the rod and this side as well, not to get painted. So this is what I'm gonna do on both sides. Now in the trunk, in order to access your chuck, you need to remove this lining thing that goes inside. There are pins. In fact, I can show you with this side. You wanna fold your two seats up forward, so you can remove this middle part once the seats are folded. You can even push it forward. So you have to remove pins. There are pins like that. You just need to put either a flat screwdriver, or if you get something like that, you just pull the middle piece a bit. That's gonna release they're like claws, kind of plastic claws. Once you remove that frees it. Not freeze, but free. So they're like that. So when you push the middle part, it expands the claws and that thing grips. So when you want to put it back, you just squeeze them tighter toward the middle, push that thing inside, and then you insert in the middle hole. You insert that thing here. If I remember correctly, there were 3 of those, so you got to look around, follow that thing. Yeah, there's another one right here inside. This is a 135, so each car is going to be a bit different for the frame, but this is the idea. You can remove that as well. This is just like a cover for giving access to your lights. So go around. This is just slided. This thing is slided underneath that thing, so there's no need to remove anything. It's just like slide here, and this kind of a steel rod and the net there, it's all fixed to that thing. So right now it's about removing the second side of that, and then we will access the second chuck absorber, and I'll show you how to remove it. So the third one is a bit hidden. It's here on top. Right here. So you kind of need to free this part all around the rubber here, and then you push it toward the inside. You need to push the seat also. This is just clip. You push that thing there, that's gonna free this end. need to pull this thing down from around that thing here to release the seat. That should allow you to pull that thing toward the middle of your trunk. Here you are, you can now push that up forward. Okay, and then you can open that rubber cover, and this is the top nut. So best way to do that is you go with an impact air tool, you loosen up that nut, then you go underneath the car, there's another nut. So here you have one bolt there, and there's another one on the other side. If you have a hard time, you can release these two, but if it goes well enough, follow the chuck here on the middle here. You can see it's poking out a bit. You have a nut there. Yeah, you can remove that nut in the middle. It's a bit hard to remove because it's a self-locking nut. So once it's out and the upper part is out, you need to compress your chuck toward the bottom. Then you need to try to pull and turn on that thing to release it from its rubber, because the lower end of the chuck is squeezed in a rubber mount. So top nut is 16 millimeter, and the lower one is 17. So what's happening now is that the chuck turns with it. I'm going to try with the impact. If it doesn't work, then either we got to put weight on the chuck, so it's going to prevent it to turn, or find a way to grab it. Maybe then I have to remove the wheel. I need to hold the chuck with my other hand. Again, if it doesn't work, what you do is you remove these two bolts here, one on each side. That's gonna make your life easier. But, on my case, it seems to be working so far, so I'll keep going with that. So now what you have to do, you need to compress your spring down, your chuck absorber. And then you need to swing it out. Now we're going to be able to remove that part as well, because there's a good chance this is going to be rusted as well as the other one. just pushing this whole thing worked fine. Now it's going to be time to disassemble the rest of it and clean. You can see this one was not as bad as the other one, but it's getting there, so better off to change it. This you kind of gotta go easy on it, because this metal stopper kind of thing is a bit glued to that thing now with the time and the rust and everything. So it works. I'm gonna try to insert a flat screwdriver here, go all around to take it apart. Okay, so if we look at the thread here, it's not very good. I checked the thread. What you do is you use a key, a wrench, and you check which gap fits here. So it tells me it's a 10mm, and then go in with a tap chart. You can tell there's M10 1.5 that exists, 1.25. These are the standard. So what I did is I took a comp for thread. You look for 1.5. Here, and then you come and check what it looks like, and as you can tell it's 1.5 obviously. So what you do from that point, just to show you, if it would have tried 1.25, you will be able to say it's not that for sure. This is 125. As you can see, it doesn't fit at all, so it's really 1.5. So what you do from then on, you look for a die that is M10 by 1.5. So you just screw that thing here, and then you're gonna need the tool at some point because it's gonna find resistance. Just turn that thing. If it finds too much resistance, you can always move backward to break the chip. Hopefully it's gonna retwist it. That's all there is to it. So for reassembling the chocks, so you gotta put this thing first in here. Push it all the way through. Then this thing here with the pin and this rubber thing over it. Oh no, sorry. That goes first, and then the two other thing I was talking about. So now it's a matter of compressing that thing, inserting the lower part at the bottom of the suspension. Then as it is going to release, when you're going to release it, just line this thing with the hole in the body of the car. So you got to make sure you push that thing all the way down here inside the rubber. Then you guide it as it goes up so that it lines up with the hole. So after that, first thing is going to be to put the nut underneath that thing to lock the lower hand of it, and then go inside the trunk and screw up the upper part of that. I'm gonna use the impact. Don't go too nuts with the impact. If you're not good with that, you can always try to use a wrench. Here there's an hexagonal portion at the bottom of this, so to prevent it to counter spin. And the top of the stud that goes inside the trunk is also got like a hexagonal part to it. Work your wheel, lower your car, then make sure that the struts or the shock absorber are properly aligned. Then you can screw the stop plate by hand as far as you can. Then you use the impact, torque those. Or else if you want to grab them, as I said. So now it's time to torque these two. Then put the cover both places, and then just reassemble the sides, both sides, and then you put that thing in place. For the sides, you need to slide it here first, and then there's 3 pins. You push the outer part. Once it's in properly, then you push the middle part and it's gonna be locked in place. This is it. So when you push that thing back, you want to line up this end first, then make sure that the rubber is over it. Then you can use that hole to help you, because this thing's gotta fit that way too. Once it's done, you do the 2 other pins, one here and the other one above right here. Okay, and then you put that thing, you do the 2 sides. Once it's done, you set this lower part, and then in the car, make sure that you in the car you need to push that thing back. You need to push it to go underneath that plastic here, so push it, then just like push the cushion underneath, then push it back in, then you can fold back your seat and you're done.